Okay, in this video we're going to be looking at problems involving kites, trapeziums, and rhombuses. And a lot of these kind of problems, or these word problems, come down to determining the area and then applying it in some way. So a lot of the times you'll see it being applied as cost. So we have a kite-shaped garden for number 1, and has diagonals measuring 7 meters and 10 meters. Now, grass turf costs $18 per square meter to lay. So what is the cost of laying turf over the entire garden? So in order to solve a question like this, we first have to determine the area. The area is going to be a half times our 2 diagonals. Okay, so half times 7 times 10 is just 70 divided by 2, which is equal to 35. And that's 35 meters squared. Now we're told that each meter squared costs $18, so our cost is going to be equal to 35 multiplied by 18. So this will be equal to 350 plus 240 and then plus 40. So that just equals $630. Alright, let's look at 2. So for 2, we have a trapezium has an area of 24 centimeters squared. So area equals 24 centimeters squared. The distance between the parallel sides is 4 centimeters. So this is another way of describing the height. And one side is twice the length of the other. What are the lengths of the parallel sides? So in order to solve this question, we have to use a little bit of algebra. So instead of solving for the area, we're solving for the distance of the parallel sides. So 24 instead of area is going to be equal to 1 over 2 times x plus 2x, because we have a distance and then we have one unknown distance, and then we have an unknown distance which is twice the length of that initial one, and then we're multiplying that by the length of our height, so that's going to be 4. Now we can solve this equation and make sure that we have our polynomial isolated by first, instead of dividing by 2, which is the same as multiplying by a half, we're going to multiply by 2. So if we multiply both sides by 2, we end up with 48 is equal to, in brackets, x plus 2x is just 3x multiplied by 4. Okay, so there's 2 ways to approach this. We can first divide it by 4, or we can simply multiply this out, and I'm going to do that first. So 48 is going to be equal to 3x times 4, which is 12x. So 12 groups of x is equal to 48. So if I divide both sides by 12, I will end up with x is equal to 4. And that means that the short side is equal to 4 centimeters, and the long side will be equal to 8 centimeters, because the long side is double the side of the length of the short side. Alright, lastly we have 3, and 3 is about a decorative mirror. It's shaped like a rhombus and has diagonals that are 60 centimeters and 80 centimeters. The mirror costs 5 cents per square centimeter to manufacture. What is the total cost of the mirror? So first we need the area of the mirror. So the area is going to be equal to 1 over 2 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 80. Now, if you multiply that half into 60, you just get 30 times 80, and 30 times 80 is just going to be 2,400, and that is centimeters squared. Now, once we've done that, we need to determine the cost, and the cost is going to be determined by multiplying 0.05 times 2,400. Now, an easy way to think about this is that's essentially asking you for 5% of 2,400, and so if you determine 10% by simply dividing this by 10, then you just need to divide that by 2 again. So if we determine 10% is 240, then 5% is going to be 120. Alright, that's it for this video. Hopefully it's helpful, and I will see you in the next one.